our headlines for tonight. Senate President Tito Soto and House Speaker Bogie D. bears declaration of their statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth.
Makabayan Bloc sees lousy investigation of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure over flood control scandal.
Pasay Regional Trial Court junks hospital arrest for religious leader Apollo Kibuloy.
Russia strikes kindergarten school in Kharkiv, Ukraine.
Django Bustamante eliminates Fedor Gorst in Philippine Open Pool Championship. Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA Lopez. This is Eurotv News Thread. The details on our broadcast. Amid the call for accountability and the renewed public access to the statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth, the leaders of both houses have voluntarily disclosed their SALNs.
Both Senate President Tito Soto and House Speaker Bogie D. have relatives working in the government services. Mia Layagi tells us more.
While there is no formal resolution yet from the Office of the Ombudsman, more public officials have voluntarily disclosed their statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth to the public. These two new officials are Senate President Vicente Tito Soto and House Speaker Bogie D., the third and fourth highest officials in the country. Based on the copy of Soto's SALN, he has a total of 465,604,461 pesos declared assets, over 335 million pesos in real properties, while over 130 million in personal properties. Among his real properties are house and lot and land properties, while his personal properties included cash, vehicles, sports equipment, furnitures and fixtures, among others. He has a total of 276,736,388 pesos of liabilities declared under bank loans, while he has 188,868,123 pesos declared net worth. Included in his SALN are his business and financial connections, along with 8 relatives in the government service. On the other hand, House Speaker D has a total of 121,144,271 pesos declared assets, over 32.5 million pesos in real properties including house and agricultural lands, while 88.6 million pesos in personal properties composed of cash, investments, and owned vehicles. D has a total of 47,124,876 pesos of liabilities, while 74,019,394 pesos declared net worth. 4 companies and financial ties were declared in D's SALN, with 16 relatives in the line of government service. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
Makabayan Bloc views the investigation of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, as a lousy process of holding accountable those involved in the flood control project corruption. Here's my report.
The Makabayan Bloc in the lower chamber of Congress sees lousy investigation by the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, to hold accountable those behind the corruption in the government's flood control project. According to several lawmakers from the Makabayan, in more than a month since the ICI was established, lawmakers have yet seen any progress. Last week, ICI Special Advisor Rodolfo Azurin and Executive Director Brian Hosaka said the Independent Commission is conducting an investigation from bottom to top, but only contractors and district engineers who signed the contract are likely to be held accountable. Therefore, Kabataan Party List Representative Reneco finds it questionable that the ICI did not identify the senators and lawmakers involved who have already been proven by the upper chamber of the Congress being involved in the corruption. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino, on the other hand, insisted that there was no lack of evidences but rather political will, something that was only being presented to protect the masterminds from the widespread corruption. Gabriela Women's Party is calling for a systemic reform, not just an investigation, because according to Representative Sara Ilago, the investigation will have no purpose if the corruption is not dismantled. The Malacanang Palace is also criticizing the alleged fishing expedition in the ongoing investigation by the ICI. The palace insists that solid evidences is needed in the probe. Alyansa ng Bantay sa Kapayapaan at Demokrasya Chairman Emeritus Dr. Jose Antonio Guisha also defended the administration's effort to hold those involved in corruption accountable. He said the investigation is not based on speculations but requires clear reasons and sufficient evidences. On Wednesday, the ICI said that they will live stream the ongoing investigation into corruption in the flood control project worth multi-billion pesos. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
Meanwhile, the Pasig City Regional Trial Court denied the request for hospital arrest by detained Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, ruling that his multiple medical conditions are already receiving adequate care at the Pasig City Jail. Mia Layagin returns.
The Pasig City Regional Trial Court on Thursday denied the hospital arrest requested by Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder and leader Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Quiboloy, who have been detained for multiple qualified human trafficking charges, have insisted for a house or hospital arrest instead, either at the Philippine Heart Center or Medical City. Based on his camp's request, Quiboloy cited experiencing shortness of breath, fever, muscle pain, and cough while detained at the Pasig City Jail. This is aside from other medical concerns like hypertension, diabetes, chronic kidney disease, coronary artery disease, atrial fibrillation, dyslipidemia, pulmonary tuberculosis, and pneumonia. Since his arrest and detention in 2024, Quiboloy have been hospitalized 3 times. Based on Pasig RTC's decision, the denial of his hospital arrest is due to the fact that his medical needs are given adequate attention by the city jail. The court also cited Quiboloy's medical reports that showed clear vital signs and no new health complaints until September 24 for the denial of the hospital request attempt. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. graced the Philippine Coast Guard's 124th anniversary celebration, commending the agency's discipline, integrity, and vital role in the maritime security, search and rescue, and law enforcement while assuring continued support for its modernization. Henry Nicolas has more.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. graced the 124th anniversary of the Philippine Coast Guard in Port Area, Manila with the team committed in service, relentless in purpose on Thursday. Also present in the ceremony were First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Bronner, Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez, and other government officials. In his speech, the President recognized the mission of the Coast Guard, particularly in disaster response and search and rescue, combating illegal drugs, arresting individuals involved in illegal activities, and ensuring the safety of passengers during their travels.
Greener and livelier. And in the West Philippine Sea, you are our first responders, ensuring the safety, dignity, and livelihood of our fisherfolk. Alam ko po na hindi madali para sa ating mga mangingisda na maghanap buhay na walang katiyakan sa kanilang pagbabalik. And yet, when they see you carrying the flag at sea, they feel hope that the Filipino spirit will never yield and that they are always in the hearts and minds of all Filipinos and our uniformed services. And recently,
he also commended PCG for their discipline and integrity during the times they work amidst challenges in their lives, and also assured of continued support for the PCG, especially its modernization.
And as guardians of safety and of stability. And in return, I assure you that this government is solidly behind you. We will keep investing in new vessels, in aircraft, command posts, communication systems. We will improve training facilities and logistics to provide every PCG personnel a sense of dignity in fulfilling their roles. We are also building facilities such as the PCG General Hospital,
Although the trust of the people now are shaken that he cannot deny, Marcos believes that it can be restored through transparent and public service with the highest form of integrity. The Commander-in-Chief also led the awarding of flags to 16 PCG personnel and crews who were recognized for their exemplary performance, professionalism, and dedication to public service. The awards highlighted the PCG's steadfast guardianship of the nation's maritime domain. The award also serves as a symbol of courage and patriotism, reflecting the organization's steadfast commitment to modernization and excellence in public service. The PCG said it continues to safeguard the country's waters and sovereignty with firm resolve and noble purpose. This is Henry Nicolas reporting for Eurotv News.
The Department of Interior and Local Government has noted the decline in the number of prank calls to emergency number 911 from 60% on 2024 down to 0.17%. Secretary John Vic Remulla attributed the decline to the effectiveness of the new system being applied. Catherine Landicho has more.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG has announced a major milestone in public safety after prank and fake calls to the Unified 911 hotline dropped drastically from 60% in 2024 to just 0.17% this year. The sharp decline was attributed to the system upgrades implemented last September. During the 24th Emergency 911 Commission Conference, DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla was informed that from September 8 to 24, the upgraded system recorded a total of 884,809 calls, of which 872,586 were successfully handled, an impressive 98.62% efficiency rate. Out of the total of only 1,495 were prank calls, while 12,223 were dropped or abandoned. According to the DILG, the significant reduction in prank calls was made possible through the modernization of the system, which now features geolocation tracking and active caller directory that deprioritize repeat prank callers and enhanced caller verifications. The Philippine National Police or PNP also reported a 400% increase in legitimate 911 calls requesting police assistance from 4,634 last year to 19,761, that all of which received proper response. Secretary Remulla once again reminded the public to use the 911 hotline responsibly, stressing the prank calls can delay or block real emergency responses. He also emphasized that the importance of linking the national ID and SIM registration system to completely deter prank or fraudulent calls. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
Prioritizing the health of teachers and students who are dealing with heavy workloads, the Department of Education will implement a 4-day wellness break, giving them sufficient time to rest and prioritize family. This idea was the result of Secretary Sani Angara's continued visits to schools, where teachers continues to appeal for a rest. Vanessa Cleophas tells us more.
The Department of Education or DepEd announced that from October 27 to October 30, teachers and students will have a 4-day wellness break. This is in accordance with the directive issued by the department to provide them with sufficient time to rest. According to Education Secretary Sani Angara, the idea of implementing a wellness break came from their weekly visits to schools where teachers had been appealing for time to rest and spend time with their families. In addition to the 4-day break for students and teachers as part of DepEd's mid-year break, the following day, October 31, is also a special non-working holiday, while November 1 is All Saints' Day and November 2 is All Souls' Day. Through these consecutive days off, teachers and students will have the opportunity to take a breather and prioritize their mental health, especially after experiencing recent calamities such as earthquakes and the rise in influenza-like illness or ILI cases in school. Therefore, the implementation of a few days of rest is deemed necessary for them. Meanwhile, the announcement also stated that the teachers in service training or INSET will be conducted after the break once they return to school on November 3, following the observance of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno has nudged the Manila Police District to intensify the police visibility in the area as holiday looms near. More details from Catherine Landicho.
Mayor Isko Moreno has ordered the Manila Police District or MPD to strengthen the police visibility across the city in preparations for the upcoming Christmas season. According to Moreno, the directive follows the order of the Philippine National Police Acting Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr., who instructed tighter security measures and a stronger police presence in the public areas to ensure public safety. With the expected influx of shoppers and visitors in the various parts of Manila, during the holidays, the mayor directed the MPD to deploy additional police officers in crowded areas such as Binondo, Recto, Quiapo, Ermita, Malate, and the University Belt. The initiative aims to maintain peace and order and prevent any criminal incident as the public becomes more active in holiday-related activities. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
Several local government units have already required wearing a face mask to prevent the spread of flu-like illnesses, especially in offices where close contact work is unavoidable. Vanessa Cleofas has the details.
The number of local government units or LGUs in the country enforcing mandatory face mask wearing continues to increase following the threat of influenza-like illness or ILI or flu-like disease. Aside from Quezon Province, which had earlier implemented this measure, the municipality of Daet in Camarines Norte has also announced that all business establishments must observe mandatory face mask wearing by their employees, customers, and visitors, especially in enclosed and crowded areas where physical distancing cannot be maintained. In addition, wearing face mask is also required in LGU offices or facilities under the jurisdiction of the local government units or LGU. In Taytay Rizal, residents have also been urged to wear face masks in places where people usually gather. This rule will also be strictly enforced in all facilities under the municipality's jurisdictions. A similar mandate has been issued in the town of Labo, covering government offices, schools, health centers, hospitals, markets, churches, terminal, and other places requiring the wearing of face masks. Meanwhile, the said order is also being enforced in some schools including Antipas, Cotabato City, Dinalupihan in Bataan, and others. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Anti-crime organization UPAC filed several charges including graft and plunder against Tarlac 3rd District Representative Noel Rivera and his wife Evelyn Rivera, the Vice Mayor of Concepcion, Tarlac. UPAC also filed charges against Tarlac 1st District Engineer Neil Farala over the alleged 595 million pesos corruption. Shai Morales has more.
Plunder and other charges were filed against Tarlac 3rd District Representative Noel Rivera, Concepcion Tarlac's Vice Mayor Evelyn Rivera or his wife, and a Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH Tarlac 1st District Engineer Neil Farala on Wednesday, October 22. United Filipino Against Crime and Corruption or UPAC submitted their complaint in the Office of the Ombudsman over the questionable 597 million pesos public funds for infrastructure projects. According to UPAC, the Rivera couple and Farala secured government contracts amounting to approximately 600 million pesos for a construction company which the Riveras own. UPAC founder Pyra Nucum Lucas alleged that Congressman Rivera owns the Tarlac 3G Construction and Development Corporation and Vice Mayor Rivera is also an incorporator of the said company. The organization underscores the years Congressman Rivera spent on politics from 2013 before he was elected in the House of Representatives. The group accused Rivera as a signatory of all the transactions made by Tarlac 3G Construction with DPWH.
The Riveras and DPWH engineer Farala were also charged with abuse of authority, conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service, serious dishonesty, and grave misconduct. This is Shai Morales reporting for Eurotv News.
4 years have passed since Super Typhoon Odette devastated the country and caused over 400 deaths. The victims have decided to file a damage case against Shell Oil Company in a UK court for its contribution to human-induced climate change, which they allege caused the intensity of storms like Odette. Here's my report.
Nearly 4 years after Super Typhoon Odette devastated the Philippines in 2021, survivors, especially from Bohol and Cebu, continue to struggle in rebuilding their lives. The powerful storm left over 400 dead, more than 1,000 injured, and displaced over 1 million Filipinos with total damages reaching 47.8 billion pesos. Now, Odette victims are taking legal action, filing a case in London against oil giant Shell, citing its significant contribution to climate change. Among the survivors are Grace Lorraine Obquina and Michelle Lupian, who have yet to fully recover from the disaster. Obquina emotionally recalled how everything she owned, including her savings from working abroad, was destroyed by the typhoon.
Palagi ko pong naalala ang mga anak ko. Yun ang sinabi sa kanila, Mama, paano yung bahay natin kahit malang ilaw wala. Hindi ba ako ang karektaber hanggang ngayon?
They are just two of many Odette victims hoping to reveal their lives and seek accountability from major polluters. During a press conference organized by Greenpeace Philippines, the group presented findings from the National Inquiry on Climate Change or NICC, the world's first investigation examining the responsibility of large corporations in worsening climate impacts. According to NICC, evidence shows that corporations like Shell have played substantial role in intensifying climate-related disasters, particularly in vulnerable nations like the Philippines. Legal expert Attorney Ryan Rosette, Senior Legal Fellow for Climate Accountability, said the so-called Odette case could become a landmark lawsuit setting a precedent for corporate climate responsibility worldwide.
Yan ay parang kung ano man yung outcome ng kaso, it affects yung behavior ng mga tao na similarly situated. Kasi ang mga kaso is meron yung social aspect. So, importance of this case, no? Kasi ang business as usual kasi tayo di ba? And napaka-short term kasi nung pagtingin natin when it comes to, business. Pero ang laki ng effect niya, for example, climate change, hindi natin nafe-feel agad, pero ngayon andyan na talaga no? It's very, the intensity, the frequency, no? So we need to change our perspective.
The case to be filed in the United Kingdom by 67 Odette survivors this December will invoke Philippine law as the basis for the claim. Climate campaigner Jefferson Chua emphasized that the lawsuit is not just about damages, it's about climate justice and corporate accountability.
Is a demonstration of community power, really, against these big companies. And we're not just talking about big companies, the biggest companies around the world. No? And it really shows that these companies are not beyond reproach. No? They are not beyond criticism. They're not beyond justice. No? And people, especially in frontline communities who are most severely affected by the climate crisis, are already standing up.
Record shows that Shell has emitted over 41 billion tons of carbon dioxide, roughly 2% of global fossil fuel emissions, and despite this environmental cost, the company reported $16.5 billion in profit in 2024, just years after Odette struck.
Companies like Shell, for example, are reporting always record profits from gas expansion, exploration. No? At hindi humihinto yan despite the clear science, despite clear political will, and despite international law. No? Lumabas na from ICJ. No?
Rosette added that Shell's negligence and inaction violated the constitutional right to a balanced and healthy ecology, contributing to the moral and economic suffering of the claimants.
That your conduct, you're earning from it at the expense of what? At the expense of other people. And really, that's the point of climate justice. Diba?
Meanwhile, attorney Greg Lascelles, a partner at House Feld, noted that while the UK court's consideration of Philippine law is encouraging, the case's outcome remains uncertain.
For the communities to win the case. There is also huge value, no, in setting precedent for future climate cases. And companies like Shell, for example, are reporting always record profits from gas expansion, exploration, no? At hindi humihinto yan despite the clear science, despite clear political will, and despite international law, no? Lumabas na from ICJ, no?
At present, only the Commission on Human Rights or CHR has formally expressed support for the ADET victims' cause. The CHR urged adherence to the UN guiding principles on business and human rights, calling on corporations to respect human rights and cooperate with legal proceedings seeking climate accountability. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
A 40-year-old man walking near a kindergarten school was killed when the building was directly hit by a drone attack in the northeastern city of Kharkiv on Wednesday. 9 people were injured and a nearby building were also destroyed during the said attack. Here's Son Santiago for the details.
A Russian drone attack hit a kindergarten in the northeastern city of Kharkiv on Wednesday. Kharkiv's mayor said 48 children and several teachers were inside the school when the strike happened. Fortunately, they had already taken shelter underground after air raid sirens went off. However, a 40-year-old man who was walking nearby the building was killed when the kindergarten was directly hit. Meanwhile, 9 people were also injured. The explosion also damaged nearby buildings and vehicles. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, on the other hand, condemned the attack and saying there is no justification for targeting a school full of children. This strike in Kharkiv was part of a larger wave of Russian attacks overnight that targeted Ukraine's energy and civilian infrastructure across several regions. It can be recalled Ukraine's largest private energy company confirmed emergency power outages in 3 regions this month after Russian missiles caused serious damage to key power facilities. One of these is a Russian drone attack that hit 4 power facilities in Odessa region, sparking widespread blackouts. According to international reports, Russia appears to be trying to damage Ukraine's power grid ahead of the winter, a tactic it has repeatedly used to lower morale and pressure Kyiv's government. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
Django Bustamante shines in the Philippine Open Pool Championship as he beats Fedor Gors in the said competition. All that and more from Kyle Basa's Sports News.
This is for your Philippine Sports News today. Converge Fiber Xers wins over Terra Firma Jeep in their face-off in the PBA Season 50 Philippine Cup.
It was a blowout win by the Converge against Terra Firma yesterday, October 22, at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. It was a team effort and a moment of realization that the roster of Converge is lethal. They erupted in the second half and proceeded to widen their lead. Juan Gomez de Leaño claimed his second triple-double in his PBA career as a rookie. He produced 17 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. Alex Stockton, Justin Aranya, and Justin Baltazar and the bench players also deserve their praise on this win as they were productive as well. Stockton had 22 points, Aranya with 13 points and 12 rebounds, and Justin Baltazar with 12 points and 11 boards. The newly signed players of Converge, including John Lloyd Clemente and Larry Muyang, also showcased their talents. They each had 10 points. The final scores of the game is 125 to 108. They are back with the winning bracket and now standing with a 2-1 record after this win.
Django Bustamante has shocked the world of pool as he beats world-ranked number 1 Fedor Gors in the Philippine Open Pool Championship.
Django beat 2 opponents, Fedor Ghost and Father Time. With it, his victory brings honor to the country and his career that despite at the age of 61 years old, he beat the world number 1. Fans have witnessed how today, October 23, at Gateway Mall, Quezon City, the intensity of the matchup. Django pulled off a comeback with Fedor's crucial error in the final rack. His shocking 10-9 victory had the world in awe. The fans are satisfied with what they have seen today. It looked like Thrilla in Manila, considering the two were battling fearlessly. Django will now advance to the third round of the Philippine Open Pool Championship. This is Kyle Basa, reporting for Eurotv News.
Following Park Bom's social media posts of the alleged complaint against YG Entertainment founder Yang Young-suk, D Nation Entertainment has finally released a statement to counter the situation. Here's Sam Martos for the Showbiz Update.
D Nations Entertainment, the agency of 21-member Park Boom, has released a statement against YG Entertainment founder Yang Yoon-suk in relation to alleged complaint. This is after Boom shared on her social media account a photo that appears to be complaint against Yoon-suk, where she claims that she is not receiving proper payment for her activities. In a post on D Entertainment social media, the agency clarified that all settlements related to Park Boom activities, including those involving the Inter 21 group, had already been completed. They also stated that the document posted on social media was not officially submitted. According to the agency, Boom has also stopped all her activities and focusing on her treatment and recovery. They also said the company will do everything to help their artist recover from his health. Meanwhile, it can be recalled that Boom halted her activities last August after experiencing health problems. This is Sam Martos for Eurotv Showbiz News.
And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit yourtvph.com for more news and information. Once again, I am KRIZZA Lopez.
You can also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via Pinoy Stream channel. I'm ALVIN PELOBELLO. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv News Thread. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.